All right, cool. I'm going to pin my video. Awesome. All right. Ooh, that screen's a little too big for me today because I did not take a shower. So y'all bear with me. Well, I had to take a shower and wash my hair. Okay, so let me pull this up really fast. We have a lot of questions, so I'm going to do my best to get through all these. Jordan is also co-hosting this with me. So Jordan, feel free. I can't see you right now, but feel free to just kind of jump in. Oh, I see you now. Feel free to just jump in anytime. I can go ahead and ask this question. And if you're like, oh, dude, me right here, then just unmute yourself and jump in before I say something. Otherwise, I'll just answer first. And then if you want to say something, you can jump in. All right. So the first thing that somebody asked was, what changed your mindset to promote? What did you do for mindset / personal development? Did you have just a huge moment of a shift in mindset? All right. So I like this question. Courtney Thompson, if somebody has her on her team, do y'all want to reach out to her and let her know to fix her microphone, or type it out or something? Okay, so I like this question because I think for every rank, for me, it's been different. And Jordan, I want you to jump in with this too, for whenever you went triple and things like that, and what you're doing this month to shift your mindset to go pres, because I know that's what you're shooting for. So last month, for those of y'all who are not on my team, I promoted a presidential last month. And so this girl on my team was wondering, what did you do differently? So for me, whenever I was going Ruby, my mindset just was whenever going from Ruby to Diamond. So it was already a Ruby. So going Diamond, I almost quit before I hit Diamond. And most of my team that's been around for a little bit knows that. But I'm so glad that I didn't quit, obviously. But I did have that thought in my head of maybe this just isn't for me, because I'm just not promoting as fast as everybody else. And I got caught in this trap of comparison and just watching everybody else. And I was like, she joined after me and she's already a Diamond. And this girl joined at the same time as me and she's an Emerald. And, looking at all these people around me instead of just focusing and putting my head down and saying, it doesn't matter where I am or how long it takes me to get to where they are to the top. I'm going to get there, but not if I quit. And so some of you may be in a position, doesn't matter what rank you're going for, but one of my traps that I got caught in that I had to get out of before I could promote to specifically for me, Diamond, was the comparison trap. Some of you are stuck in that right now, and you're looking at everybody else but yourself, and you're not looking at what you could be doing differently. You're looking at what all of them are doing. Well, guess what all of them are doing? They're promoting, which means they're not looking at you. They're not looking at anybody else next to them. They're focused on themselves and they're focused on their promotion. They're not looking at you. So that is one thing that I had to overcome. Then from Diamond to going double, I sat at Diamond for 13 months. So in that switch, I had to just believe that I could do it. I think for the long, whenever I hit Diamond, I just looked at double and I was like, okay, Diamond is the best that there's ever going to be for me. I could never go double because, and I don't know why I thought that. I don't really have a reason why I thought that, but I just did. And I was like, I'll never be double, but Diamond's good, I guess. And I just stopped dreaming and I didn't believe that I could do it. And so to promote from Diamond to double, I had to find belief in myself. I had to continue to build a team that actually had people that were working, because when I went Diamond, no one was working on my team. So I had to keep signing up new distributors, and I would sign up 10 and 2 of them would work, and then they would run with me and we would run, and then I would sign up 5 more and one of those would work and we'd run with that one too. And eventually I got to where I was able to go double Diamond with people that were actually working. Not everybody on my chart was working, but a lot more were, versus whenever I went Diamond. So I believed in myself again, and I truly just worked in that team and made it not about me anymore. It wasn't about me and where I wanted to go. I made it about them. So that is another trap that you might be in that you need to get out of. And then for me, going triple to pres, I was telling somebody, I don't remember where I was talking about this, but I just had to make the decision. It was on our Zoom last week. I just had to decide. For me to go from triple to pres, I had been boxed in, which if y'all don't know what that means, it just means you have all the people, but you don't have the volume yet where you need it. So I had been boxed in for months, since the beginning of the year, and I just had not hit presidential yet. And so I called one of my mentors at the beginning of this month, and I was like, you know, what am I doing wrong? Like, what do I need to do different? Why am I not promoting yet? And she said, Morgan, you just have to decide right now, and you need to go tell your team that you're promoting to presidential and that you want them to come with you. And so I did what she said, because she knows what she's talking about. And I was like, all right, I'm going to decide right now that I'm doing this. And I decided, and the day that we all went presidential, and I say that because we all did that together, and there were so many people that weren't even on my presidential chart that at that rank, and they promoted to a higher rank than what they were on my pres chart. And when we promoted, somebody commented on that video from October 2nd or 3rd and said, you said this day that we would do it. You said you decided this day and we just did it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like, I forgot about that. But we just decided, like, there wasn't a plan B. And so some of you need to stop saying, well, I hope that I go Ruby this month, or I hope that I hit Emerald this month. But if not, that's okay. Like, no. For us last month, the difference in last month versus January, May, June, July, and every other month was that last month we said we either go presidential or that's it. There is no plan B. Plan A or we die. That was our motto last month. Plan A or we die. There is no plan B. There was no option to not promote. And so that's what we did. And that's why there were so many other people who promoted, because they took what I said as the leader and they said, we're going to do what she's doing. I'm going diamond or I die. Like, and then obviously not literally, but like that was our mindset. Like, there wasn't a plan B. And so there's a lot of different traps you can get caught in during different parts of your business, but just know that like quitting never ever gets you there faster. So that's my thing. Jordan, did you have anything to add?
I was just going to say something that I know for me, when I went triple, like the things that I was doing when I went triple is exactly what I'm doing now. And for whatever reason, when you hit a rank, Morgan actually said something about this in the lifers or in one of our pages, where you feel where you're content for a little bit. And when I hit triple, you know, this was a goal, and this is probably all of you newbies, you're like reaching for Ruby. Y'all, we should be reaching for Ambassador. Like there is like, or Black Diamond, you know, there really is no end goal. And so for me, I was reaching for triple for so long. And when I hit triple, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what do I do? You know, and now I've been working for Prez, and I feel like I kind of not necessarily broke a team apart, but I was so consumed in like what to do next that I really had to go back to being a family again. And like your team needs to be close. And so with me, here's just a tip. If you're trying to promote, make sure that you're bringing your family together. You're getting on Zooms together. You're in your chats together. You're encouraging, you know, each other, and not just for your promotion, but knowing what's going on in their life and what they're doing. And that alone, I think, has helped me with every single promotion, is because we all came together. And so like this month for me and going Prez, like I've made sure that in my chats and with everyone that's wanting to promote, whether they're in a promoting position or not, like I don't care where you're at, everyone's reaching for a promotion no matter where they're at in your chart. So you need to know every 400 box, every executive, every Ruby, and encouraging them and becoming a family, because I think honestly that's the only way you can get to any really promotion that you want. Higher than Ruby, I guess. I mean, you could definitely get to Ruby on your own. I've seen plenty of people do it, but I just think it's better to do it as family. So that's just kind of my 2 cents.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't know how I can get this back to like secret view. Oh well. I'll just do that video again. Okay. So the next question is, how many different ways did you try to stay organized with follow-ups, and which ones worked best for you? Everybody has a different way of following up. I really don't want to spend too much time on this question because there's so many different tips on YouTube. There's so many different tips. I know this question came from my team page. There's so many tips on our team page about staying organized and the different ways to do it, but you just have to try them. Like, if you haven't found a way to get organized with the business yet, then you haven't tried enough ways, because there's some way that's going to help you. And some people just aren't organized. And like, I know top leaders who just don't get organized. Like, their form of organization is putting a green heart next to everybody that they talk to. And on Fridays, they go back and scroll through and find all the green hearts and ask if they're still interested. Like, maybe that's your method. My method includes a whole lot of highlighting and, you know, marking things off and having 2 planners and doing all that stuff. And some people just involves doing everything from their phone, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to try all the different ways. That's totally up to you how you want to do yours and find what works best for you. But you have to do something. Like, you have to try something. You just go look it up on YouTube and like type in staying organized with It Works. And there's like so many different leaders with all different tips on what they do. So try some of those. Okay. What is the best way to create solid leadership on your team? This is kind of a loaded question, but I would just say, like, the biggest thing for creating leadership on your team is like, if you have someone in a promotion box, so that's somebody, so let's say you're going Ruby, you have somebody that's an executive, right? That's a promotion box. If you have somebody in that executive spot who doesn't want to do this business as badly as you want it for them, like, you put them in that executive spot thinking, oh my gosh, like, they're going to be so good at this business. And then they end up just joining and not doing anything with it. Like, you thought they were going to be so good, but they weren't. They didn't do anything. You don't have to leave that person in the executive spot. Guess what? You get to write your chart in pencil and you get to just flip them over. Like, you can use somebody else in that executive spot. So I think the biggest mistake that I made in the beginning of my business is pushing people to be in leadership positions that either didn't deserve it or just didn't want it. Like, some people just don't want to be a leader in the business. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to make a whole lot of freaking money with this business. It's beyond me. But some people just don't want to. And so for me to try to force them into that leadership role, instead of finding someone who I saw with this potential, maybe they were like 18 levels down in my organization, but I found them and I said, you know what, you have a lot of potential. I'm going to bring you up and I'm going to teach you and I'm going to help you, because you can help form a leader. You can, but you can't make a leader out of somebody who doesn't want to be it. So I can take this person with a lot of potential and I can teach them how to lead a team, teach them how to do what I do, and I can show them how to do self-development. But at the end of the day, I think it's just making sure that your chart is full of people in promotion boxes who want it. And if they're not, then you should switch up your chart. And talk with your leader about that too, because every chart's different. I don't want to just say that as like a rule for everybody. Just switch up your chart if there's somebody not working, because there's so much that goes into that, which is why I said it's a loaded question. But I think just showing people how to be a leader, and y'all, the best way to show people how to be a leader is to be a really good leader yourself. And I'm not telling you to be perfect, because the best leaders are somebody who, like, we don't expect you to be perfect and we're not perfect, but we're willing to admit our mistakes and say, you know what, I screwed up right here, but let's try this instead. That's a good leader. Somebody who can allow you to make your own mistakes. Because if we expect you to be perfect as your leaders, then you're going to go and expect your team to be perfect, and they're just not going to be. So leave room for error and have those mistakes and allow them to fail. And then show them how to learn from that. So I think that you being a good leader yourself is how to create good leadership on your team. Jordan, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was going to say consistency, because I know for me, nothing is more frustrating with a leader when they're only there for you half the time. And like I said, none of us are perfect. And so I'm not calling anyone out, or like, I'm speaking from my own personal experience from, having to balance that, like being there for people and not being there. Like, you have to allow them to count on you. And so, stepping up into this leadership position, let your team know when you're available and when you're not, so that you're not taking on too much. Asking them and knowing them personally and not only talking business. That to me, like, I have amazing leaders on my team because I have amazing friendships on my team. Like, I feel like leadership comes from knowing the person you're following. People want to follow people they trust and that they can count on. And like she said, I was going to also say that, and then like being the type of leader that you'd want them to be. So if you're expecting them to do Zooms with their teams, are you doing Zooms with your team? If you're expecting them to get on the family call, are you getting on the family call? Doing the things that you're expecting them to do is going to create that layered leadership, and it's going to pass it down your downline.
Yeah, I love that. Sorry. Switch our videos out. Okay. All right, next question. Okay, so I'm just gonna like skip around because some of these are from newbies and some of these are like leadership questions. So let's go to a newbie question. Somebody said, what's the best way to lock in the deal? So basically like seal the deal. I get a lot of people interested and then they never make it to the checkout cart. All right, so the first thing I want you to know is like same. People tell me no all the time. I message people today and people are like, nope, no thank you. Nope, not interested. Okay, cool, sounds good. So you have to know that that's not like a you thing, that's a everybody thing. And then, you know, I have people all the time, holy cow, all the stinking time, who say like, yep, I'm ready to order right now. And I'm like, okay, great, let's go ahead and get you signed up. And then boom, it's just like they fell off the face of the earth, no idea what happened. They got abducted by aliens because I never hear back from them again. And that was back in 2015, still haven't heard back from them, you know, like that happens to everybody. And so you have to know that that's so normal, and the fortune is in the follow-up. If you expect them to join the first time that you talk to them and for everything to go perfectly smooth, I want you to think back to before you joined the business. Did you see one post and join the business? Probably not. Did you see one post about the products and then reach out to the person who posted them right away and say that you're ready to order? Probably not. Did you leave the person who enrolled you on red at any point in time? Probably. So if you did all of those things, you have to expect other people to do them too, because they're just not sure. If it's about people joining as a distributor, they want to see that you're serious, because guess what? They're joining this business expecting you to be the person to lead them, and they're trusting you with their coaching. Like you're saying, like, I'm going to coach you, I'm going to lead you, I'm going to be there for you. Well, they're going to say, you know what? Well, are you sure about that? Because you didn't post for the last 2 weeks and then you just randomly messaged me again. So like, how can I trust that you're really going to do that? So you have to stay consistent, like Jordan said, and they want to see that you're serious. And if you're serious about this, they will come back to you, and you have to continuously just follow up with them. As far as customers, I know Christy said, get their info and sign them up yourself. 100%. That's what I do every single time. And all my stuff, by the way, is in the team page. So if you ever need to go back to Dare to be Diamond, that's our team page, and go look at this stuff. I have the scripts because this person who asked me this is in my team. So go look at Dare to be Diamond. There's PLC combos all up in that Facebook group. So feel free to do that. And then whenever I'm, explaining the product, like, yep, cool, sounds good. I'm like, awesome. Here's what the 90-day challenge is. I have a script in the team page that explains what I tell them. And they're like, okay, sounds good. How do I order? And I send them a message that says, yay, I'm so excited. I only have one spot left to place your order. And hang on, let me just type it out actually. It says, yay, I just need the info in the highlighted portion of the order form. I'm placing orders now and I can add yours. I have one discount spot left, and be sure you give me both billing and shipping addresses if they're different. Boom. They send me the info. I place the order for them. Anytime I send people to my website, I don't hear back from them. So I like placing the order myself because it gives me more control, and I know that it's going to be done correctly. I know that if there's an error that I can take care of it for them, and I'm not going to get annoyed by the error because I want their order to go in, versus them, if they get an error, they may be like, this is too difficult, I just don't even care that much. So I want to make sure that I'm placing the orders for them if at all possible. So I send them that, and the picture of the order form I'm talking about is in Document Library on eSuite. You can print that out, or you can just go take a picture of it and then highlight it, whatever you want to do. Also, it's in our team page. So that's what I do whenever people, just to seal the deal. Again, fortune is in the follow-up. So many times people will tell me that they're interested and then not sign up that day, not order. But then they end up ordering, so many days later, or so many years later. I've had people that I talked to in 2014, 2015 just signed up and ordered 2 weeks ago. Seriously. And so don't give up on those people. Continue to follow up with them. And as you're being consistent, posting about these products over and over again, they're not going to be able to avoid it, because if they're interested once, they're never going to not be interested again. Most of the time, them not responding just means that they don't have the money for it, but they're too embarrassed to tell you. So don't take that as a slight to you. It's just because they don't want to tell you that they don't have the money for it. So just be patient with them and continue to follow up. Beth said, I signed up a girl that I've been following up with for a year. One of my diamonds said, I left you on red for a long time. Thank you, Zoe. Appreciate that. No, but she really did. You just never know. People just leave you on red, but it's not because they're not interested. It's because they're just still watching you. Never had anybody give you their info. Do it. I do all the time, and I sign a whole lot of people. Jordan, did you have anything else to add to that? If not, that's okay. You don't have to add anything. Okay, cool. So let's see. What else did somebody say? How do you get people you don't know to sign up as distributors without them being a customer first? If they're interested in joining the business, then if they need extra money, then they're going to join the business. Like, they don't have to be a customer first. A lot of people are customers first, but they get products with their kit. So if they're ever, maybe you're asking if they're like, because they haven't tried the products. I'm just assuming that's what you're asking. So if they've never tried the products, they get samples in their kit. They get a full treatment of 4 wraps with their kit. Plus they get the green samples, keto energy samples, and keto coffee samples, all for free with their kit. So there's no reason that they have to become a customer before they join the business unless they just want to. I was a customer before I joined the business because I didn't know that I could be a distributor. Literally thought the girl I was buying the products from made them in her kitchen, and yet for some reason I never asked her anything about them. I was just like, oh, you make these wraps and they really work? Okay, cool. Like, I'll try them. They could have been full of, well, I don't even know what, but I just didn't know I could do the business. However, if I did know that I could make money, me being as money driven and red as I am, I definitely would have become a distributor before I ever tried these products. So it doesn't matter if they've ever tried the products or not. They don't have to be a customer first. It doesn't matter if you don't know them. People that I sign up as a distributor, I have no idea who they are because I've been doing this for 4 years. Everybody that I know has either become a distributor or is for show ain't interested in becoming a distributor, or they're just like taking a really long time to decide that they want to do it. And I'm not exactly sure what they're waiting for because I don't know. But yeah, so I usually, everybody that I sign up right now they're people that I don't know. So hopefully that answers your question. Brooke said I was not a customer first. Allison said she was not a customer first. Christy said I never tried a product before I joined. Neither has Jamie. So you don't, oh my gosh, I just almost knocked something over. So you don't have to. And if you're specifically asking about like signing up distributors and finding people who are interested, one thing that I do is a lot of posts. I post a lot about the business, talking about, oh my gosh, I just filled up my gas tank. I never was able to do this before. It works. I always had to put this on a credit card or always had to check my bank account first. And now I'm able to fill up my gas tank without having to worry about the money because of this business and the paycheck that we just got. Or I'll talk about, I just got a $100 bonus this week from helping one of my new team members get started because they have to get 2 customers, right? So I make $100. So I tell everybody, I just made $100. Now I get to go buy my mom a birthday present or whatever it is. So I talk about those things and what this money is doing for me. And I've done that since day one, even before I had made a dime. And I talked about what I was going to do with the money that I was making. I talked about that I was going to pay gas for my gas. I talked about how I was going to pay for groceries and how I was going to pay for college in cash, and then how I was going to pay my car off, and now how I'm going to pay my house or buy a house because of this business. And so you just talk about where you're going with it. And then another thing too is Insta stories and polls are amazing. Just talk about people's stories, people on your team, people in this team that are on this Zoom right now that have crazy stories and things that they've been able to do from this business, whether it's paying for gas or buying a house and everything in between. You have people's stories that you can share too, because some people may be able to relate to a college student and not you as a mom, and vice versa. So share other people's stories and talk about that. And then at the end, do a poll and make 2 positive options. So you never want to say, yes, I'm interested. No, I'm not interested. You want to make it 2 good things. So I say $500 a month, $1,000 plus a month. Those are my 2 options in the poll. So that's a way that I get people interested that I don't know yet. I don't really message for distributors very much just because I feel like I get a lot of people that aren't really serious because they didn't come to me. They don't even really know what they're getting into. They're not interested themselves. They're just interested because I asked. But that's just me personally, and everything works different for everybody. Jordan, did you want to say something?
I was just going to say too, sorry, I've been like in and out listening. I have a bunch of people trying to hear and see the screen. So I've been trying to like help everyone. But I was going to say something I have been doing lately is turning on my post notifications on Instagram for anyone that reaches out to me or votes on my poll and has like an actual conversation. And y'all, it is okay. You're going to have people who vote on your poll that don't mean to. Make sure you make it small. Don't make your poll I don't know if you said this, but don't make your poll all the way across your screen, because when people tap through, they will accidentally vote. So I always put it on the left side, on the bottom, or at the top, somewhere where they really have to intentionally vote. But I still get people that accidentally vote. But something I have been doing, like I said, is turning on my post notifications, and I'm the first person they see when they make a post. I'm liking it, I'm commenting on it, and they're gonna be like, who's this girl that is always liking my posts? And they're gonna go back to my page and they're going to see everything that I post. And going back to like what we post about, I was going to add in that I love talking about my future and where I'm headed. And I also talk about my past. So I'll say stuff like I was working 2 jobs. I was, in college for 19 hours. I was able to quit my jobs and earn a $40,000 bonus. And this is where I'm at now, but I love preaching where I'm headed. I'm going to be debt free. I will be able to buy a car in cash. I'm going to surprise my mom on a trip. Like all those things that people don't even open their mind to. That's the stuff I'm posting about. Therefore, I'm catching their eye on social media.
Yes. And Jordan and I work our businesses pretty similar too. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say, she would say, yeah, like that's exactly what I do too. Okay, so then let me go back because I'm going to forget to go back to this if I don't go back now. Jordan, I want you to answer this one first, and then I'm going to answer the second. So this girl said, have you ever felt burnt out? What did you do about it?
Yes. Honestly, y'all, this is something that I had to realize really quick, that this is not a hobby. This is not something that you do just for fun. Like, it's still work. And if you think that this is going to be easy and I'm not trying to scare you, but I want you to understand, like, you should be proud at the end of the day because of the work that you have to put in this. But it is easy work. It's work, but it's easy work. It's work, but it's fun work. And so something that I would say to help you not get burnt out is still do the things that you love. Y'all, it is okay to put your phone down. It is okay to go have dinner with your family. Do not dare pick up that phone at dinner. Go to the movies. Go do things that you love, because I know I used to be the one that I still struggle with this, where it looks like I work this business 24/7. And people always say, they're like, well, I don't think I have enough time. Like, you're always doing this. And so I'm starting to do better about showing that I'm relaxing, showing that I'm getting my nails done, that I'm getting a massage, that I'm traveling, like I'm traveling more. Start doing the things that you love to do, and you won't be as burnt out. Start reminding yourself why you're doing this. Set timers for activities instead of, because I know one thing, y'all, it's really easy. I'm so scatterbrained, sorry. But it's really easy to say you're going to message and you end up looking at the clock and you've been messaging for an hour and you really haven't been messaging for that long. Set timers and get work done within that time frame, and you'll see how much time you actually have, and you won't feel so burnt out because you'll feel more productive, and you would have got things done in a short amount of time than dragging it out all day.
I completely agree, and I think that like what Jordan said, you have to have like a game plan and like logistically, what are you going to do to not feel burnt out? And she just gave you so many great tips. So I hope that y'all wrote those down. And if not, jot down what you remember, because if you are someone who feels like they get burned out. And then now what I want to talk about on the flip side of that is your mindset, because I think a lot of times we get burnt out because of where we are up here, and that you don't have a big enough why, and you don't remember why you're doing this, and you're just doing this for somebody else. You're doing this because your leader said, I'm going Emerald this month and I want you to be the Ruby, and I want, like, let's go, let's run together. And it's because you said that you want to run too, but you just aren't ready to put in that effort, or you forgot why you're doing this. And so now you feel burnt out because you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm just doing this all day long. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. Like and I'm so stressed and I have so many things going on. Okay, number one, we're all busy. So get over yourself. You're not the only person that's busy in this business. I'm sorry if that's harsh, but I'm sick of hearing people say they're too busy to do this. Like, we're all busy. Number two, whenever I was going diamond, okay, this just because that was when I was still working, and I haven't worked a job since then. So now you'll all be able to relate a little bit more back to Ben. And that was in 2017 or 2016. 2016. So Yeah, because it's 2018. So 2016, so I went diamond in February of that year. So that month that I promoted to diamond, y'all, I went to work at 9 a.m. because I worked as an assistant manager at a retail store. We opened at 10. I had to get there at 9. Worked from 9 to 10. Then 10 to 4, I was like actually on the floor at this store. And then 4, I clocked out, which was an hour earlier than I was supposed to because I was supposed to work 9 to 5. But I worked 9 to 4 because I had to clock out at 4, go into the back room at this store, and I had a little bag packed with my lunch that I had to scarf down. At 4 o'clock, I ate lunch. Then I had to change into my black pants, black shoes, and black shirt and rush over to the restaurant that I worked at, like 2 miles down the road, and I had to clock in at 4:30, and I'd work there from 4:30 to 10:30, and that month I still went from ruby to emerald, emerald to diamond in the same day, and I did not feel burnt out. Why? Because I freaking knew why I was doing it. I knew what I wanted. I was so laser focused on what I wanted. I knew that if I did not work hard that month and put everything that I had and more into this business, then I would still be there probably right now because nothing would change if I didn't put in the effort that it took to make that change, to make my life different. So was I busy? Yup. Did I care? Nope. Because I knew what I was doing, and I think the secret's not getting burnt out. And I'm not saying that, you have to work this business sun up to sundown, but did I do that last month whenever I was promoting to presidential? You sure? Yep, absolutely. Sure did. Did I feel burnt out at all? Nope. Because I knew that I wanted it so bad. I never felt burnout. Did I feel tired? Yeah, there's a difference. If you're tired, you can be physically tired, but if you're mentally tired, it's just because you're unmotivated. If you're unmotivated, then you're going to feel tired up here. It's okay to feel tired because you haven't had a lot of sleep, but if you know what you're working for, you're not going to feel tired up here and you're not going to feel burnt out. So you have got to remember what your why is. And if you don't have a strong enough why, or you haven't dreamed since you promoted last, no wonder you're burnt out. No wonder, because you don't know what you're working for. So you're going to get sick of working for something that you don't even know what it is. So that's why I didn't get burnt out. And you can look at me now and say, well, of course you don't get burnt out. Like, your life is so easy. Well, it wasn't always that way. And because I put in the work 2 years ago, I get to live this life. It wasn't always like this. I didn't join as a presidential diamond. I didn't join making this kind of money. I didn't join without a job. I joined when I was in school working 2 jobs, but I made it work because I knew that I wanted this life right here, and I put in the work that it took to get here.
And can I add to that really quick? And I think that is the most important thing you need to do is not I think it's really easy, especially for our new distributors, to look at Morgan and I and other people who do this full time and think, well, I can't do it because of all the time that they have. And you forget, I always tell my team, when I promoted to Diamond, I was working Monday through Saturday. I was going to 3 different campuses with 19 hours of school. And I promoted to Emerald and Diamond during that spring semester in double, actually. And it's so crazy to me that I actually had more, I feel like, interaction and momentum in my personal business when I was so busy because I was constantly on the go talking to new people. I was more intentional with my business. Now I can be more relaxed and work this full time. But you have to remember that we all started from somewhere. So don't look at anyone else's business and the time that they have. You have to look at your schedule and say, okay, this is what I have. What am I going to do with it? Am I going to complain about it? Am I going to say that I can't do it because X, Y, and Z? Or am I going to use what I have and make it happen? Because that is why I'm triple and she's prez and y'all are diamonds and above, and some of you guys are rubies now. It's all because you decided to work with what you have. There's moms on this team that have 3+ children who are working and they still have earned every single rank up bonus. It's all in your, like she said, it's all mindset. It's all, are you going to make excuses or are you going to turn your situation into an income?
Yep. So true. All right. Next question. Okay. I think we're actually doing pretty good on time. I'm very proud of us. Okay. So other than doing challenges, like boom challenges, fun incentives that we don't have to do, by the way, but we want to and we get to do, Other than doing challenges, how do you keep your team motivated when they aren't seeing the results that they want? Goes back to mindset. Like literally all these questions go back to mindset. If you are approaching this business and explaining this business and posting about this business and messaging people about this business, just overselling how easy this business is, then you're going to get people who aren't willing to put in the work. And that's what I've found in my 4 years of doing this. And I've stopped saying, like there's a girl that I was talking to the other day, and this isn't to slight her at all, but just to give you a real life example, she said she was saying that she was interested in the business, told her I'd give her more info. And I have gotten a little bit more picky about who I want to work with, because I really do want to work with people who are very excited and invested. That doesn't mean that they have to be perfect. It doesn't mean that they have to meet a set of requirements and a list that I check off. It just means that I want to see that they have a heart that's teachable and a heart that's excited and just wants to do this. And if they quit, they quit. That's fine. But I want to pour my heart and my time into somebody who will reciprocate that. So I have been a little bit more picky, and I've never turned anybody away, but I just don't really follow up that great with somebody who is like what I'm about to tell you. So she was talking to me about how she was interested in the business, and I said, what's holding you back? And she said, well, I just, nobody's going to buy anything for me, and I live in a small town, so I can't do this business. And like, I just feel like she just started saying all these negative things, and I just responded back very nicely. And I said, you know what, with that mindset, you really wouldn't do very well with this business. And I'm just being honest with you, because if you go into this business thinking that you're not going to sign anyone, that's exactly what you're going to get. You're not going to sign anyone. So I think that it's really important to talk about how simple it works is, but I would never use the word easy, because if we bring people into this business saying, oh yeah, it's going to be easy, it's going to be a breeze, you join and magically $5,000 falls into your lap from the sky. It's the greatest thing ever. If that's how we're talking to people about this business, then they join and we're like, all right, get on Monday night Zooms. We really encourage you to be able to, do this, do that. Like make sure that you're messaging, make sure that you're posting and doing all these fun things. They're going to be like, you said this was easy. You never said that I had to work. Like, what are you talking about? So that's one part of it. The second part is if somebody is really, really working hard, you have got to remind them that this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And what do they mean that they're not getting the results that they're looking for? Maybe they set a goal for themselves and they didn't reach it. What I found in myself a lot is that if I set a goal for myself, I'm going to mute everyone because I hear a little bit of feedback and I'm super ADD, so I'm getting distracted. Okay, so what I found in myself is that whenever I'm sitting here thinking, okay, well, I'm not doing this, like I'm not doing very well with this, I'm not doing very well with that, or, I'm not reaching these goals or whatever it is, it's usually all boils down to me comparing in that moment, because I don't know if I'm not doing good or if I am doing good unless I'm looking at everybody else. And then I can compare myself and say, oh, she's only doing this. Oh, I'm doing so good. Or if I look at this person and say, oh my gosh, she's over there. Like, oh, I suck. That's why I get in that mindset of like, I'm not doing as well as I want to do. So number one, make sure that you're not comparing yourself with anybody. Number two, make sure that you remind people that this business is simple, but it's not easy. And number three, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So there is no timeline. There is no time frame that you have to try to beat to get something specific. And yeah, that you want to get 4 customers in 30 days. Well, I got 3 customers pretty quick. And then my 4th one, my 30-day was rolling around. And I was like, I texted my enroller. I was like, good Lord, have mercy. What happens if I don't get my 4th customer? Because I don't know where they're going to come from. I messaged everybody and nobody's interested. And she was like, you'll get them. You'll get them. Just keep messaging. And I was like, okay. So I just kept messaging. And on that 30th day, I signed my 4th customer. So everybody's journey is different. You can't motivate anybody. You can only inspire them. So you be the person that you want to have on your team. If you want your team to be full of people who are disciplined, determined, excited, passionate, that use the products, get their own results, you need to be doing every single one of those things. And if you are, and they still just are not motivated, it's just time to find new blood. And by that, I mean just finding new distributors. I was saying earlier that in this chat, somebody asked another question, and this has something to do with that too. I was talking about a deck of cards. In a deck of cards, there's 4 aces. There's also 4 tens. There's 4 jacks. There's 4 twos. There's 4 fours. So there's tons of different, cards in a deck, and you've got them all face down. And every time you sign a distributor, you're flipping that card over. That card may be a 2. That card may be an ace, and an ace is somebody who's going to help you get to ambassador. Whether they are an ambassador, they help you go black diamond, whatever. They're a runner. They're a rock star. Maybe it's a 2. Maybe they join and they just quit. I had a lot of 2s at the beginning of my business. And everybody's stack is different. Everybody's deck is different. Some people have their aces, all 4 right on the top. Some are all right down at the bottom. Some are all mixed in everywhere. Some at the top, some in the middle, some at the bottom. So it's all different, but you have to keep flipping over cards because you're eventually going to find those 4 aces, and you don't ever know where they're at. So you just keep having to flip those cards over. And every time I sign up a distributor, I'm like, this is my next rock star. This is my next rock star that's going to get me to ambassador. This is my next rock star. And so when I have that mindset, it also helps me to get into a position where I want to train them as if they are my next rock star. And then I really pour everything that I have into them. And if they're willing to reciprocate that back, great, let's go. If they're not, that's okay. Not everybody wants to do this business. Not everybody really joins and has this big of a why and really wants to run with us like we do, So I think just keeping all that in mind is huge, and just knowing that you can't motivate them, so it's not anything that you did wrong. Jordan, I'll just let you jump in if you ever want to, so that I don't have to keep asking. You're like, no. Okay, so the next question. Sorry, I'm scrolling all around here, so gotta find where we were. How are you taking advantage of these $20 business builder kit deals? So let me tell you what I was doing whenever I was promoting last month. So I didn't actually tell anybody I had $20 kit deals last month. So I was just talking to people like normal. And if you're trying to promote, this might be a really good idea for you. Or if you're a really strong distributor enroller already and you don't really need the $20 kit promos to help you sign distributors, this is what you should do. You should talk to them like normal. Let them know, hey, it's $99 to sign up. And then they're like, okay, cool. I'll have it on Friday. And you say, okay, cool. It sounds good. Friday is great. And then Friday you message them, and this is what I did. And I was like, by the way, you were going to sign up for $100 today. And this is after I'm like, you're still ready to sign up, right? And they're like, yep, I have my $100. I'm like, great. So actually I have a promo code. It's only $20. So why don't we go ahead and get you started for $20 instead of $100? And then you can pay you can use the other $80 that you were going to spend on the kit to get products. Then you get ADBV and another distributor. They get tons of free products for the exact same price as what they were going to spend on the kit. They get better results. They have more to post about. You get better volume. They are still spending the same amount of money they were going to spend anyways, and they just got so much more stuff. That's what I was doing last month. So if you're trying to promote or whatever. But for those of you who are sitting on here and you're like, I've never signed a distributor, I can't do that. Oh my gosh, somebody's going to sign for $99. Well, number one, they will, for sure. They will sign up, for sure. Kirsten is on our team page. But I don't even know what you would look up to find it, but look up $20 kits or something. I posted about it though. But yeah, so number one, people will sign up for $99. So don't, after this deal is over, and by the way, if you're like $20 kits, what are you talking about? When you sign up to go to conference, either in your first 10 days of this business but if you sign up before October, the end of October 31st, you get $20 promo codes. So you can sign up 20 people for $20 instead of $100. Okay, so once you run out of those, please do not get in this mindset of I will never sign another distributor because now I got to pay $99. Well, then we'll sign up for $99 because raise your hand if you did. Yep, everybody on here pretty much. So we all sign up for $99. That's a really great deal already, and it's only $99. So this $20 deal is just icing on the top. But if you're somebody who has not really signed up a lot of distributors, maybe you're brand new and you're like, I can't do the whole thing that you just talked about, I would encourage you to try it. But another thing you can do too is I've just been posting and saying, if you could join my team for $20, would you? Or say if you could make an extra $500 a month from your phone and it was only $20 to get started, would you do it? Something like that, and talk about how like they're gonna be able to make extra money from their phone. If it was only $20, would you do it? Or say, you know, it's $100 to join this business with me so that you can make an extra income from your phone while you're in school. Maybe if you're a college student. You say it's normally $99, but right now you can do it for $20. I only have 5 spots left, or however many promo codes you have left. Message me if you're interested. Something like that. Y'all, polls, that's where everything happens. There's just so much magic in polls on Insta Story. So do that. So that's how I'm taking advantage of these $20 promo codes. Allie said, how do you find the line of involvement with DTs, like help more or back off and let them do it? So I think she's saying, like, how do you know which distributors to really like message every single day and ones to not message every single day? I honestly, you know what? I ask mine. I say, do you want me to be there and text you every day? Because I mean, why make it more complicated than it has to be? If you're wondering that and you're just really not sure what that person wants or needs, just ask. So say, you know, do you want me to be somebody who messages you every day and follows up with you and checks in with you? Is that going to help you a lot? Or do you want me to just kind of let you come to me as you have questions and let me just, you know, be there for you if you have help? I love friends and I love to talk, but if somebody asked me that, I would say, I'll come to you. Please don't message me every day. That would have been me. And that probably surprises a lot of people, which is why you should ask, because you may think that they want one thing, but they really don't. Another way, too, to tell if they've been in for a while and you are just kind of stuck and you're like, now it would be a little awkward 3 months in if I asked them, hey, should I text you every day? For somebody like that, I look at, do they text me every day? Like, I think of people like right off the top of my head that just text me every single day and they ask questions, they talk to me, and then one day I don't hear from them and I'm like, are they okay? Like, they haven't texted me at all today. Like, oh my gosh, I hope that they're all right. Those are the people you need to text every day. If you don't hear from them, you better be texting them, because they want that. Like, they want you to text them. So if you don't hear from them, you should reach out to them. And then vice versa. If you message them and they don't really reply, like, I don't really go out of my way to text somebody who doesn't reply to me, because if you want help, I'm here. But if you don't, that's okay too, you know? So I don't want to waste your time or waste my time. Jordan, did you want to add anything?
I was going to add this in because we just did a Zoom with Alyssa Billiou, and this literally changed everything for me in new distributors and really knowing where they stand. So she sends out a new business partner success plan. And it's literally just a few questions that they ask. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it literally asks them, like, why did they join? Like, what actually attracted them to It Works and not something else? What their goals are 30 days, 90 days, and a year in. What do they think might hold them back from reaching those goals? How many hours are they willing to commit? Y'all, that will tell you immediately where they stand and how hard they want to work with this business. Asking them what their commitment level is. Are they willing to go to an event? And those questions have helped me, because if someone says their commitment level is 10, I know if I'm messaging them, you know, quite often and checking in on them, like, we've already made an agreement, like they sign it. And what I've been doing is I email that to them, and then I tell them, I'm like, when you email it back to me, we will set up a FaceTime call to talk over it. And we talk about it and we read every single question. I get to know them. And like I said, and like Morgan just said, you ask them and you can tell when someone's really ready to go. They're going to be blowing up your phone. They're going to be excited. And I also have task lists that I do with my new distributors, and I won't give them a new task until they come to me and tell me they're done. Because I'm so yellow, y'all, and it kills me. I wish I could take every single distributor to Triple Diamond in their first month. Like, I'm like, let's do this. Like, you can do this. And they're not ready. They're not ready to have that kind of push. And so me being like, Pam Souter actually gave this advice and said, you need to give them things to do and you wait. If they can't even sign into their eSuite and get off commission hold, you need to step back and you need to not be pouring in 1,000%. Like, they need to be able to do, I just said be able like 6 times. That was weird. They need to be able to do the basics before you're over here overwhelming them with how to go Ruby and Insta stories and posts. Like, you need to give them something to allow you to see that they're ready.
Yes. Sorry. I was I'm like in the middle of replying back to a question that I'm just going to answer on my team page. All right. We only have like a few minutes left, so give me 1 second to find the last few questions, and I'm going to like group some of these together. What is the best way? I need sleep. What is the best way to reach out to people and get them interested in becoming an LC? And somebody asked a similar question and said, what do you think is the best way to get PLCs interested? PLC is potential loyal customer, if y'all didn't know that already. And then she said, besides messaging and posting pictures on social media. And then, okay, so that's one question. So, the best way to reach out to people and get them interested, I literally message all my followers on Instagram, which means that I have to add new people on Instagram every day. There's trainings on my team page on how to work Captivate. I'm sure there are on Jordan's team page too, on how to work Captivate and all of those apps that help you follow people. And then you can go in and just message all of your followers and go ask them if they're interested. And if you message a ton of people and they don't reply back, every Sunday night I go back and I message people that I sent the original, hey girl, I saw your page, blah, blah, whatever my message is, to ask them if they're interested in being a product model, which is being a customer. I will go back to them and I will say, did I catch you at a bad time? And I did message like a ton of people that today. So I'll go back and message everybody I talked to last week who never replied to me. And I had so many people say, oh my gosh, I forgot to reply, or, oh, I saw this while I was driving and I didn't respond. And so now they're interested. So I do that. And another girl said, what's the best way besides posting and messaging? You have to have your own results. That's the biggest way. Y'all, I posted a picture of me drinking the coffee and it shows that I've lost weight. Like, people who have been following me can tell that I've lost weight from using these products. So whenever I say I'm drinking my keto coffee again this morning, I've lost 23 pounds because of these products, they are interested. I don't even know how many people reached out to me today about the keto coffee. I think it was 6 or 7 from one post, because I was consistent with the products. I have my own personal results. So if you're not using the products, why would people sign up to order them from you? Because you aren't using them. So why would they? So that's the biggest thing. What time of the day do you find is most beneficial to message people, and how many people do you message a day? I message as many people a day as it takes for me to go to bed at night and say, good job, Morgan, you did a good job today. And if I don't feel like I've messaged enough people to do that, then I don't go to bed and I message people while I'm laying down in my bed. So usually probably 10 minutes, 2 times a day. So probably 20 minutes total. That's a lot of messages you can get out in just 20 minutes. If you're really focused on just messaging and not scrolling through people's, 2016 Barcelona spring break trip pictures, because that's where I find myself a lot of times if I just start scrolling. Then somebody else said, or then the other part of the question was, what time of the day do you find most beneficial? Don't worry about what time it is. Just message anytime that you have free time, because you have to remember that people are all in different time zones. People have all different schedules. Some people have 9 to 5s with the noon to 1 break for lunch. And that noon to 1 may be 3 to 4 your time, because they're living in Colorado and I'm on Eastern time. It may be midnight where I am and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's way too late to message. Well, it's only 9 o'clock over in California, and vice versa. Like, I may wake up and say, oh my gosh, it's 7. Like, this is too early. Well, it's super early in California, but right now I can message people that are over here. So like, just message anytime. It doesn't matter, especially if it's on Instagram or Facebook. They'll get a notification when they get a notification. They'll reply when they're ready to reply or able to. And you message when it's convenient for you. It doesn't matter. Okay, last question. Let me see. How do you get people to stop ignoring you even after you've sent the did I catch you at a bad time or have I offended you? Just move on to the next. Yeah, just move on. Like, y'all, there's 6.5 billion people in the world. We can't get hung up on all 10 people that tell us no, or the 10 people that just don't reply back to us. Go find new people to message. Like, I still have people that I messaged the first message and the did I catch you at a bad time. They read both of them and then they still were like, nope, not going to reply. Like, that just happens. But guess what? You can still be the top 40 income earner and have all that happen because you just find new people. So I think
I just posted in my team chat like a few weeks ago, 13 follow-ups. I think that was like my record. 13 times I had texted that person about every promotion, every deal, literally $10 deal, $50 deal, everything. And they finally joined. And I think they actually end up joining for $99, which is kind of funny to me. But like sometimes it's just not their time. And if you consistently follow up, you will be the person they go to. It will be everyone's time in their own time.
And did you know that that's normal? Like the average amount of contacts you have to make before somebody will order is 7 to, I think it's 21 contacts is normal. That's average. So if you stop after the third contact, and I'm not talking about somebody who doesn't ever reply. Like if I message somebody a message and I say like, are you interested in being a product model? And they don't reply. And then I say, did I catch you at a bad time? And they don't reply. I'm not going to message them 7 more times. Jordan and I are talking about people who have already expressed that they're interested and just stopped replying at some point. Or then they reply again and then they ghost us again. So that's what we're talking about. So you're not just going to sit there and like, let them go. Like you can keep messaging them and asking them if they're still interested. And I've had so many people come back and say, you know, I'm not interested yet. Like I'm not able to afford it yet, but thank you so much for not forgetting about me. That really means a lot that you checked in. And so go out of your way to talk to people. It makes people feel important that they haven't been forgotten. So I know there's still a couple questions in here, but just for the sake of time, I want to go ahead and hop off here. I know a lot of people have work and school tomorrow. So, I hope that we answered a lot of the most important questions. And if we didn't get to any of them, we'll have another one of these Zooms later. But thank you all so much for hopping on here. We love y'all very much. I'll post the recording of this as soon as I can. And y'all have a good night and a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.